Now, I have basically had O-gauge model trains in my life since 1954. I'm 80 years old. One of the trains I always thought was one of my favorites was my Virginian FM. I still have it. My grandson has almost worn out the wheels using it on floor layouts that we had and various other layouts that we had. I later in life got the Virginian Allegheny. Now, I really do like the Virginian paint scheme on the engine. I love the FM. The FM is just, to me, one of the prettiest engines. And of course, I love the Allegheny. And a lot of nights I'll just run both of them. And they run together, and it's like having a little Virginian railroad. But some of my friends collect other railroads. I'm kind of a fan of the Virginian. Now, one of my good friends, Mike Estella, he collects Erie Lackawanna. And it was funny that they have an Erie Lackawanna version of the FM. And I think between us, we have one of each. And in the years that we used to run trains together, he used to bring his trains over to the house. In fact, on some of the videos, we'd have some of his trains. And actually, it's pretty funny, when Roger Karp shot the article that appears in the magazine, I had some of Mike's trains on the layout. We never even took that into account. Mike, congratulations. Now, I remember a lot of times going over to my late friend Arnie Haber's layout. He had quite an extensive layout, much bigger than mine. Had a lot of engines in his collection, and I'd take my grandson over there and we'd look at the various engines, and I think my grandson would be eyeballing up some of the the better engines, the more expensive ones. But he liked that FM. He wore the wheels out on that, and when he was young, he's 14 years old as I'm making this video, and he put a lot of wear and tear on that engine over the years, and that's pretty cool. lot of people argue about which are the most attractive engines, and is it the Santa Fe or is it the Seaboard or whatever it is. But you know what? I kind of like them all. I wish I had a much bigger collection, and I have a pretty decent sized collection, and I do enjoy running them all. None of them sit on the shelf and gather dust for too long, and especially with my grandson doing change-ups on the consist all the time. But the truth is, no matter what model railroading you do, what engines you like, what railroad you like to model railroading, to me, especially O-gauge, just has a lifelong appeal. I know it has to a lot of my friends too that started collecting like I did when they were 7, 8, 9 years old, and they still have some of those original trains. I still have my original 681. There's just something about having these old trains around, running them whenever I get a chance. I think it has an effect of keeping you young up to a point. It certainly does give you plenty of mental activity, plenty of fun, and I just don't think there's a better hobby in the whole world. And if you have some trains that need upgrading or repairing, there's only one place to go, the Train Doctor. They buy, sell, and repair trains. Then they're great to do business with. I've done business with them many years. And thank you so much to Roger Karp and the crew at Classic Toy Trains for featuring our layout in the magazine when it was relatively new. We've changed it a bit since then. Now, if you're new to our channel, we have over 3,000 videos. You can sort out all of the O-gauge ones very conveniently by using the playlist feature on the main YouTube screen. That will allow you to get to all of the O-gauge videos very, very conveniently. And there are many of them, including building the layout, showing how we do some of our videography. I've done videoing since 1987, and maybe some tips on building a layout that you can use. So I hope you did enjoy the video, and if you did, please take a second or two and hit the like button. And one and all, thank you so much for supporting the channel. We appreciate your support. And one and all, thank you so much for watching.